Hey, YouTube, y'all here? Okay, we got to talk about this thing again, I guess. So it looks like, hi, Princess A. It looks like we're not going to be able to escape this story, which I think there's a good chance will end in tragedy for this dude, Rob Rack. Okay, so what I saw last night, I'm sure a lot of you saw last night or mainly early this morning. Look at that face. Well, that's not the issue right now. We saw this dude he's been out of jail for one day. Excuse me. We're having issues. Hi, Fraser Laurie and Mocha Drop, TLCN3. He's out here acting and looking a whole fool. Mm-hmm. Well, he's doing that because he's a drunk, TLCN3. I guess people weren't really aware of to what extent he is a drunk before the situation with Tracy, where he was exposed to the extent of his alcoholism. And people became aware of who he was. Frankly, none of us over here would even know what a Rob Rack was or who he was if it weren't for the fact that he got involved with Tracy. Now, we're not blaming Tracy. She had nothing to do with it. All she did was befriend somebody who, I guess, talked a good game online. But what I saw today, it looked like the scene of a crime. It looked like you could almost see this cops blowing him away live online. Because, well, first let's go back a little bit. Yesterday he got released on probation, right? He immediately got a hotel room. I guess his family does no longer want to be bothered with him. They have had experience after experience after experience, and eventually, if you are a real alcoholic, you will go through all of your family members, even your mama and your daddy. You go through everybody, but nobody wants you around the house. No one wants to bring the drama into their home, right? So he said, well, I don't know what the situation is with his family members. Apparently they are from Sacramento. But he wanted to go get high. I guess people online had given him some money. He wanted to go get high and be drunk at a hotel. So he got himself a motel room and he got him some booze and he immediately popped online. Now, this is a serious matter, people. It's a serious matter because this guy, because he is so drunk, so inebriated all the time, he didn't realize what he was doing. Eventually, he was outside yelling and screaming, and the cops rode on to him in the parking lot, right? Now, when they rode up, I assume guns pointed. They were telling him to get on the ground. They don't usually holler, get on the ground, unless their guns are already drawn, right? There's already talk of these guns, and he just got out one day earlier, and there's a possibility. I mean, I don't know how big the area is, Sacramento is. There's a possibility these cops are already aware of the fact of the situation a couple of weeks ago, right? When they tell him to get down on the ground, he is still talking on YouTube. Oh man, they tell me what's going on. Holy shit! All this crazy ass shit, not realizing that there are people pointing guns at you and giving you direction, instruction, which you have to adhere to. This is why we've seen so many of these brothers killed, right? Either they ran a little bit, they were scared for their lives, they ran something, they didn't do what the cops said, and they ended up dead. This fool doesn't even realize the predicament that he's in, correct? If there's already talk about a gun, how do they know that you don't have something in your hand? Because they're coming up from behind you and you have something in your hand and you're refusing to lay down, correct? They could have easily blown his damn brains out and we'd be right here live watching it. That could have been the story. So I believe that this social media thing could be the end of Rob Rack. I honestly believe that because I'm just burping it. What did I eat for breakfast? I don't even remember. Just raisin bran. What was I saying? I believe the social media thing is poison to him, right? Because yes, he is an alcoholic. He's a fallen down drunk, right? Yes, he's probably went through all his family members. He probably lives some kind of halfway house. All those things are true. Can't keep a job. All the things that go along with alcoholism. But none of this stuff was public until he got his ass on YouTube, and he hooked up with another YouTuber, and then he chose to film him and this other YouTuber. So everybody's got their eyes on him, right? He's chasing for clout. He's seeing the number. Oh, you got 2,000. You got 2,000, right? He's so drunk on the YouTube thing that as soon as he gets out of jail, first thing he wants to do is hop back on the thing that almost destroyed him. But what I'm saying is this: if it weren't for social media or his new obsession with being on social media, he would probably just be a garden variety drunk, right? He would go into the hotel, maybe he would holler at the TV or something like that. But how much could you holler at a TV? No, he was yelling and screaming at us at YouTube. This is what brought the attention of all these people onto him. Now, a lot of people will say, well, we don't think that it was the YouTube that called on him this time. And I would tend to agree. I would say that if the manager has come to the door and if they've tried to call your room and you have a neighbor banging on the door for you to shut the fuck up so they can get some sleep, and you are ignoring all of these things, and you're outside of your room still yelling, waking up the whole damn hotel, which they have paid for their rooms, correct? They have a right to rest and sleep. If you have a person like this in your hotel, more than likely it was the hotel that called the police, right? It would not be unusual if you are running a business and you have a disruptive person like that in your facility, and they won't stop, and you can't contact them, that they would call the cops. That's what usually happens. So my point is, since he don't know what he's doing, and he's even been known to brandish weapons and so forth, they could very easily kill a person like Rob Rack. Unfortunately, we don't get to interview all the people who have been killed, but I would probably guess that a lot of them were inebriated in some way, right? Are not really paying attention, not focused. You know, when cops tell you get on the ground, you're supposed to get on the ground, right? Oh man, they're here. They're here. They all in the back of him, man, with guns pointed on him. So if it weren't for YouTube and his audience, he wouldn't be screaming. He wouldn't have anybody scream at. I doubt that he could hold the attention of a woman. So ain't nobody gonna be in there with him. He just flounder around his room like all the other drunks, or stumble down the Skid Row and just get drunk all night, right? But because of this thing right here, it does not mesh well with alcohol and or guns. Now, he claimed in this thing, I didn't watch those 9 hours of that. I'm not interested in this story really, but it just seems like it won't go away. He claimed that he had several guns, and that was his toy pistol, the one he had, right? So Rob Rack would probably eventually self-destruct. My idea is that we shouldn't be promoting or advancing by calling the police on people who haven't hit or hurt anybody physically. But he will probably self-destruct. That would be up to him and the police. That's their job. They are paid for that, right? However, I don't think that YouTube had anything to do with this. They might have called, but they probably called after he had already been arrested. It all happened like that. He only been out one day. He wasn't even out 24 hours. Anyway, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all got thoughts on this? I mean, the story just keeps coming back. I'm so sad. Well, I guess Tracy had a 9-hour live last night, and at the end of it, she saw that he was getting arrested again, right? And her fear was like my fear. It looked like very easily that could have been a scene out of a movie of somebody being killed by the police. Right? She's saying, don't kill him, don't kill him. We've seen people kill for a whole lot less, honey. A broken tailpipe. People not even drinking. Anyway. What y'all think? He's out there acting like a fool. Well, there's a lot of drunks acting like a fool. Go down the Skid Row, watch them all falling all over each other, throwing up on each other. And I don't know. He doesn't need to be behind the wheel of a car. And in my opinion, he doesn't need to be online at all. Certainly not anything live, anything to do with anything live. And you say, well, he got a right. He got a right. No, I think what they did to VS, this is what should have happened to Rob Rack. They should have restricted him from being online, right? If you want to be a falling down drunk and go in there and piss all over yourself, shit all over yourself in a hotel room, go ahead. But you're not going to do it online, honey. Right? Anyway, let me see what y'all say. Hi, Nicole Related. Danielle Nicole. Elaine. Bernice Hobson. Yeah, I guess the story's back up in the face. God, I mean, damn, one day? I've had that happen to me before, where I get out jail one day and got arrested the next damn day. It is extremely humiliating. It's heartbreaking, but it also goes along with if you choose to be a drunk. I mean, you're hooked on alcohol. Here in California, and he is in California, they do have programs now where instead of sending you directly to prison, because that could well happen since he was just put on probation and immediately broke the probation the same day that he got out. I don't know if there's any restriction about him drinking. He was not driving, so I'm not sure what the charges will be. My guess would be it would be terroristic threats, right? And now with all this video stuff, I mean, all the cops got to do is sit there and look at the video. Okay, pick him up, babies. Please don't. That's why I want the dog to bark, because it distracts me what the hell I'm talking about, chat. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Yeah, but we don't want these people to be dead, do we? I mean, not really. I mean, we all have uncles that are drunks. I had uncles that were alcoholics. They stayed alcoholics their whole life, but they didn't run out in the street with guns, and they didn't get on social media and threaten people's lives. And he can't seem to help himself. He's not the same person. He's not a rational person when you're always drunk. You know, he says anything. Apparently, he was even threatening the people who support him right before he got arrested, right? So anybody can get it. But I was saying that they have programs here. They'll put you in program as opposed to just throwing you immediately in jail if it is alcohol or drug related. He could get that kind of diversion. But since he just got put on probation and immediately went out and did the same thing, I don't know. He might have exhausted his leeway, because we don't know what went on before this. I mean, are Sacramento, are they aware of their Rob Rack? I mean, does the person just started getting arrested 2 and 3 times right in a row all of a sudden? He said he's in his 40s. That means he's been there a long time, and there's probably a trail of misdemeanors for alcohol-related issues. Otherwise, he wouldn't have lost his right to drive his car, and he wouldn't have had DUIs and so forth. But I don't think we want any of these black guys to end up dead. Well, I shouldn't say black guys. Anybody, really. He can't control his mouth. I think he thinks that's macho, or that's something. A lot of these straight guys, you know, the conversation is always about beating each other up and killing each other. That's the way they talk, you know. But he turns it up several notches where he's actually breaking the law with terroristic threats, which are actually being recorded. If they weren't being recorded, it'd just be your word against theirs, right? It's just rough talk. But since they have video on it, it's kind of hard to disprove that. When he was in court last week, or a few days ago, what was it, a couple of days ago? I'm confused. 3 days ago or something. When he was in court, then he pled no contest. That's essentially the same thing. Baby, come on, stop. That's essentially the same thing as guilty. Right? It has the same penalty as guilty. It's just saying people can't sue you saying that you did it. You're not admitting that you did it. You're simply saying you're not going to fight it, right? He's not going to fight it because no, he was guilty. So I don't know what the plea would be then when you come back the next day. Are you going to go in the same court? Are you going to be standing in front of the same judge, right? I don't know. Y'all excuse me for a minute. Come on. Let's go. Move it, boy. Move the bum. Come on. Queenie, come on. Don't do me like this, boy. Come on. Shit. My dog is in the one place that I can't get a hold of his ass. He's hiding under my desk, and I'm too old and too fat to bend down there and get him. Well, you better be quiet. I can't get up under the desk to get him, girl. What y'all got to say on this issue that we're back to visiting again? I guess Tracy really was into him. She was crying. She didn't want to see, even though she was still confronting him herself. It seemed to really tear her up that he would go back to jail. Or her concern was that they would actually shoot him, because a person like that could be shot. They're not gonna acquiesce to what has been told to them. Because why would you still be talking on YouTube and you got police sitting up there, we don't know how many, with guns pointing at your head, telling you to get on the ground? Oh, they here. Boom, boom. It easily happened. It looked like a scene from a. God, gotcha. Get that bum over here. God got you ding dong. Get that bum over here. I'll be right back. Thought you could get away. I tricked your ass. You ding dong ding. Oh, I hear him. Get in there. Let me read my chat and see what y'all say. His neighbor in the hotel knocked on the door and told Rob to lower his voice, but Rob refused to do so. Yeah, I saw that as well. The neighbor, who I guess was some kind of truck driver, so they always in motels, they're driving cross country, and the man wanted to get some sleep. He did pay for a room. There's no reason he has to sit up and listen to that shit all night. And Rob, did he actually bang on the man's door? But he refused to pipe down. In fact, he got louder and louder as he got drunker and drunker. So, yeah, all of that is true. We know that this man is, I won't say piece of shit, but we know that this is a drunk, right? So I don't know that that's a death sentence, however. I don't know he should be killed for that. Point is that he's so irresponsible that could easily happen. And we all be sitting around talking about how bad the police are, not acknowledging this person's role in it. Yep, the neighbor called there. The people in the hotel called there. And apparently he's smoking cigarettes. So I guess he has so much respect for the hotel, or the smoke detector will go off. He has to continually go out into the parking lot. So when he goes onto the parking lot, he didn't turn his live stream off. They say he was live for 11 hours, or his intention was to be live for 11 hours. And so he didn't stop recording. He just goes out in the parking, kicks his phone out in the parking lot, and continues to yell and scream. Right? On into the night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He faces that. He also faces getting beat up. Because a lot of those people who have paid for their motel room, they're tired, they're worn out, whatever. They want some sleep. They go out there and kick his ass too. That happens to drunks a lot. You'll see them out, the head all beat up. They've been pushed into a wall some damn where. So I think probably the best sentence for him, or at least part of his sentence, should probably be what happened to VS, where they restricted her from being online. Now, her charge was an assault, but they still restricted. They tied it to her online presence, right? And this is all tied to the problems he's having, are tied to this guy, Rob Rack's online presence. That's who he's screaming at. And threatening. There's a whole nother situation going on with him and Troy Allen, which I'm choosing not to get into. But there was a lot of threats made to him and his family last night as well that were recorded. He said he was going to kill people. The previous arresting to the same officer. He was also talking trash about the police. He didn't give a fuck about them either, and that he would do similar things to them. They're just human. They got attitude too. You know, at least worth a couple of kicks in the stomach. Fame is a hell of a drug. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. You stole that line from Rick James. Fame is a hell of a drug. Right. It's a bad combination. And then he has people over there egging him on. Like this is just locker room talk kind of thing. But it's not. I mean, if you're threatening people, if you're saying you have people in your city, I got family in your city, they come and get you, and you want to make people feel insecure in their own home, particularly if you're talking about they're doing something to their family members, that's a crime, right? And that's something you want recorded. So apparently, Beefing 13, he knows somebody's real. Apparently, he didn't even know who he was. They show me his picture. Show me his picture. I want his picture. All this old shit, right? All you do is go to his channel. But he said he taped all that and he was forwarding it to the police department. However, this thing happened live online, so there was no opportunity to send shit to no police department. So I don't think it was Troy Allen that did it. He said he intended to do it, but it may not even be necessary. I'm just not with all this calling the police on people, to tell you the truth. Unless there's a real credible threat. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't follow these things for all these 9, 10, 12-hour videos. VS showing up over there. She don't even know him, but she want to give him $200 so she can get some dirt on people over here and all this shit, child. So we're going to allow these people, they're going to take over the goddamn beef sector by continually being in the news every day. I mean, what does this guy do with her? Now, apparently, this guy, Vic Damone, him and his pastor friend over here. Now they're going at it. They have criticisms. They all fall out. That's why I can't get close to it. I mean, I don't believe in this bullshit. And there's no friends on YouTube. There's no Mr. Friend for me wherever I make them, honey. But as far as trying to have these alliances and so forth, I don't know that it ever works out. It seems like the more you know people, the more likely you are to fall out with them and spill all this tea. So she's up here stirring up all whatever she can stir up, child. It's all about attention, all about getting the numbers. We have to say that VS has been in at least, has it been 10 now? She's been out for 4 days. She's already been in 10 panels, plus the videos she's making herself, whatever. I guess that's what you have to do, get yourself back in here. But she is certainly jumping back in with both feet. He going to prison this time? Well, that's certainly how I ended up there. Now, fortunately, I was never a falling down drunk. I was an alcoholic in as much as I went out to the club every night. But I never got publicly drunk. I never drank at home and all that kind of stuff. So that wasn't my particular issue. But my petty crime did end me up in prison after they put me on probation. So when they put him on probation, with his character and his disability, which is alcoholism, he was very likely to violate the probation. I'm sure they never dreamed that it would be the next day. He probably hasn't even been assigned a probation officer yet. Usually you have to come in a few days later and meet the person, whatever. They give you the rules and regulations and all that kind of shit. He hasn't even made it that far. He hasn't even made it one day. So that's why I think I've said it a couple of days ago, that probation for someone who's living on the wild side is a trap. It is going to end you up in prison. If they don't send him up this time, it will be the next time. What is the likelihood that all of a sudden now he gonna have a come to Jesus moment in jail when they got him, and they're gonna come out and never do it again? Of course not. He's gonna do the exact same thing. He's gonna have a couple of drinks, and he's gonna get back to the audience that he's apparently loves, the ability to be online, right? Most drunks are not really focused in on this YouTube stuff, but we know that there are people on here, they drinking all that kind of thing. But most drunks on his level are out there in the streets some damn where. They're not really online. Not like him. So really, being introduced to YouTube was probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to him. He's not going to be able to resist the urge to drink. Getting off alcohol, it is a serious thing where you have to be totally focused and you have to really want it, right? I don't see it happening with him just by going to jail. Hell, I went to jail over 30 times. I don't mean nothing. And it comes down to when you've had enough, you're ready to quit, and you don't got to be motivated by shit. You turn your own self in. Help me. More importantly, help me, God. I believe, and I will trust you. He probably will get a slap on the wrist with continued probation. That's a possibility, Miss Piggy. They may take a good serious look at that. He just got out one day, though, and violated immediately, though. Right? He's a menace to society. And I don't know what happened to this car. Did they just take his car from him? He said he had a nice car, right? So it was probably impounded, and he probably owes them a few $100s. But I don't think they just take your car from you, which would mean he would probably be trying to get behind that wheel again. And he could really kill people. There are ways to get around the breathalyzer, as we've already seen. I don't remember how many times I violated my probation before they put me in prison. I think it was only like twice. It's a pretty serious thing. Angie Dickerson, Tim, do you feel Google has some obligation to do something as well? What can they do? There are millions of people on here. They could have, I guess they could have a whole crew to see it, make sure, but there's no breathalyzer on YouTube. My mouth is vulgar. They don't, people say, oh, I don't say no curse word, don't say no bad word. Girl, I say bad word every third word, but they never took it into me, so I don't know what Google could do unless they do what they did with VS, and then just have the courts restrict people who have violated or done something illegal using YouTube or Google, right? So I don't know the ins and outs of that. I think, yes, people can flag you. People can draw their attention to your channel. You could lose your channel. I don't know why he hasn't lost his channel. You would think that someone making as many threats as he's made on here would have lost his channel almost immediately. I mean, why is he even on here? But we haven't really seen him on here. I mean, since we did, at least for me, I didn't know what a Rob Rack was before Tracy, right? So a couple of people might have flagged his channel and they haven't taken it down yet. I suspect that the videos that he made last night will be taken down, but I don't know if that happens immediately. I don't know how the whole flagging thing works. He's got a lot of attention on himself now. But yeah, those threats should certainly disqualify him. We got people over here that drink. We don't get to decide who's the alcoholic and who ain't. People have spoken recklessly. Although I think he's probably the worst I've experienced. And he was still talking all that shit about Tracy, and apparently she still likes him. Maybe she sees something in him that we don't see. Because she certainly was crying when she found out he was being arrested again. Or she saw that the cops were there. Hi, Beef in 13. Rob threatened a police officer, 187, as well as others. Good morning, Mr. Blaine. Beef at 13, we're not going to pretend that he did not also threaten you. That was the primary threats from last night. So yes, he threatened police officers. That's going to make them have animosity when they get their hands on him, right? But he also threatened you. He also threatened Tracy. He seems to threaten pretty much everybody over there. I think I heard at the end of his thing that he was actually threatening his good buddy on here, Octavius. Wasn't he say, I'll kick your ass, I'll break your legs, and all this stuff? I mean, that's kind of his stick, correct? So yeah, he's got a bad mouth on him. There's no doubt about that. Looks like you were alive at the time that they say the cops showed up. So we don't think it was you that caused this issue for him. Ultimately, the issue is from him. He can't control himself. What he needs to do, if he wants to continue in his drinking career, he is 45 years old. It's supposed to be the time when you start winding down. But if he's going to do that, he needs to just get offline. And that's what I think they should have restricted him from. Right? If they could do it with VS, which was an assault charge, why can't they do it with him? You can't be on social media. So now you can just go either sit in the bar or sit in your car and just drink. Not in your car. Whatever. And just be your garden variety alcoholic. Y'all remember in the Andy Griffith show? They always had the drunks, all those little small town shows, and they always had the town drunk. The town drunk would get arrested every 2 or 3 days, and he'd go and dry up, and then they put him back on the street. Well, this is what Rob would be if he didn't have access to this thing. Guns are also going to be an issue with him, right? Because if he's ever caught with a gun again, and he says he has several of them, he's telling the people who are watching this video concerning the incident that he has other guns. So what do? They already went to his house 2 or 3 times, right? So now he's alive telling them that he has other guns. Do they go and search for those guns? A lot of times people carry a lot of weapons. They're cowardly people. Scared. Because what do you need a gun for? Is somebody going to come and get you or something? Why you need all these guns, girl? Waving, letting people know you got guns. I got to protect my jewelry. I got to protect my... Why not just not wear the jewelry then? Don't you just work in the factory somewhere? Why you say $100,000 worth of jewelry? Which that's just the stupidest goddamn lie. Tracy seen the shit up close. I think if she even suspected it was real, she would say, well, I don't know if it's real or not. No, she said it's fake. It's junk. It's just junk. It's just part of your YouTube stick, honey. You ain't got no $100,000 worth of shit. You don't even have your own apartment. No, I haven't covered it to the extent you guys have a Beef in 13. Yeah. Either someone in the hotel, and it wouldn't even necessarily have to be the man next door who he cursed out. It could have been anybody in the hotel, right? You're disturbing the peace, right? But since they came and they called him by his name, did they call him Rack? Drop the gun, Mr. Rack, or something like that? It seems like that would be something that would be on the form where he checks in. The hotel management will be the ones who knew his name, right? This shit they do over here on YouTube, all this calling in stuff, that's not going to have that kind of immediate effect. All this occurred in one night. I would say that there could be people calling down to the office and demanding that the people call the cops, or the owners of the hotel demanding that the clerks call the cops. I mean, if you have somebody disruptive like that, what do you do? Herder, y'all got these words, herder. Herder, the front desk. Oh my God. I heard this is from Claudia. I heard he threatened to herder the front desk person and people next door. I went to sleep, but I ain't consuming that mess. All up in your spirits, girl. hear you in your dreams talking about murdering people and things. No, I don't know how he holds people interest for hours and hours and hours. Was the goal 11 hours to be online, or what? Did he actually complete that before they got him? He's scheduled to, I think, come on at about 9 o'clock, and this shit didn't happen to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So he's been on there a whole lot of hours, getting progressively drunk. And from what I understand, he was on his way to get more alcohol when they stopped him. So it had to be slightly before 2 in the morning. He's just not very bright, and yes, and that could very well get his ass blown away. So when people get killed, we don't generally blame the person because, oh, he was drinking. That's not the death penalty. Just Kimmy said, sigh. I'm upset with you, Tim. Why are you upset with me, girl? You didn't like my commentary on your situation, girl. Baby, I'm the least of y'all problem. Y'all need to be worrying about what's going on with VS, girl. She's already told you. If she's approaching total strangers and giving them $200 to drop tea on your ass, child, you can imagine what she's capable of. So I'm sorry you upset, just Kimmy, but you'll get over it. Just do the right thing, baby. That's all I say. Do the right thing. And whenever if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I apologize for what I've done. If I can make amends, I will. And move on with my commentary. I should have came on StreamYard, Miss Kimmy. We could have talked it out, girl. Maybe we do that later. I'm just on a regular thing right now. Am I trying to show you my chest hairs? I ain't got no chest. Honey, I'm smooth. Send me 50. Y'all remember Jay Wilson? That bitch came on here. No, I'm trying to show you no chest hair, Drake Hayes. I just don't like this look where they got the shirt all like this, girl. Some of them do that. Jay Wilson was on there doing his strip tease, child, and they was giving them cash app. Send me another cash app. And then his little round curly shit was all on his chest. Button it up like, girl, that looks so silly to me. It looked like little kid shirts, all the way buttoned all up on the damn collar. Now we don't know why that fool was showing up all of a sudden. Now she'd been driving Uber for years, but now all of a sudden the day after she admits she drives for Uber, she coming on with suit and ties. So is she trying to deceive the saints? Oh, I'm going to work. See, I'm going to work. Or are you just driving your Uber cab with a tie on, child? Since you're driving the early morning executive rides. Or is it a possibility that you got another temporary assignment? As far as we know, you're still tied up to a temporary agency. We think that if you actually had employment, you'd be over here bragging about it because you can't help yourself. He working in a bathroom somewhere. Lord have mercy. Working retail. Yes, of course, she's over there acting so stupid and foolish. They all think it's so goddamn funny. I just don't get that part, honey. They always think it's so funny when people are going to jail. Oh, he going to jail. Well, we want to know what kind of food it was. Girl, all right. Ooh, baby, what goes around comes around. Girl, they're going to have belly laughs when it happens to your ass, girl. Right? You keep saying how you don't ever do nothing. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do no drugs. I ain't never been to jail. I ain't never drank coffee. You ain't never did shit, girl. But when y'all start fucking with people like these people who are recently showing up, you don't know what they can dig up on your ass. You have no idea the damage these people can do to regular, ordinary people. Mm-hmm. How much did he raise? Oh, yeah, that's the thing about Wilson. He made him, Octavius, did you send that money? Did you see it? For is the love of money that is the root of all evil, right? So if you worship the root of all evil, should you really be calling yourself a pastor, a chaplain? She focuses on somebody else. What difference does it make what kind of money he gets, girl? It don't make no difference. Mm-hmm. I want receipts, he say. Jay Wilson say Rob Rack is just being set up. He say anything. I tell y'all still don't believe me that he's stupid. Eventually, y'all gonna catch on. You're gonna say, you know what? He is kind of dumb. I mean, some of his arguments, some of the things he says, they're kind of stupid. First Lady Wilcox needs to get her act together. That's right. Mm-hmm. And get off of Grindr. Mm-hmm. Let me see. These stories are dropping every few minutes now these days. VS is live this morning. First thing, Vic Damone, he's popped up on her page, and they just channel popping, and y'all just working this like that boy has some significance, honey. Who is Rob Rack? Hey, I was just a garden variety drunk. Mm-mm. The streets is lit, says Rico. Rob Rack's $500,000 bail. Does he got a $500,000 bail? We got to go see. Let me see. That was beefing. Let me see. Rob Rack rearrested. Octavius Prime. VS. Lady Nika. That was the hood table. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see who else is reporting this morning. See, I don't care. Oh, no, don't say nobody else's name. Don't tell them who else is live. I don't give a fuck. Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Who's fist? Okay. Oh, that's VS new page. Someone in the black sector lied on me. Oh, shit. Oh, we gonna see a merger. Someone in the black sector lied on me that quick, says VS. She's popping up everywhere. That means she's gonna be after y'all next. Okay. Vic gets dragged for playing in everybody's face, says Clydiva. Oh Lord. Oh, beefing. Rob Rack $500,000 bail. That's another of the same story. Okay, so 9-inch nail. Let me see, 9-inch. Lord have mercy. Duchess Kelly Love. What's popping? Messy with Rob Rack's picture in the camera in the thumbnail. I guess y'all get another 10, 15, 20 hours worth of video out of this, child. Y'all tickle me. It ain't like he's Prince or Michael Jackson or somebody. What makes him so famous? Why is what happened to him? Why is it so interesting? Tracy's not even there anymore. She's not even part of the story anymore, child. Y'all done got on to him. I guess it's not always good to get your name known, is it? Is it, Robbie? Some people get the name known, and they ride it into fame. Look at Andrew Caldwell, honey. All those people who go viral, they go viral for one video, maybe it's 4 or 5 minutes, and then they ride it for 5 or 6 years, and they turn it into a career. So, case in point, Andrew Caldwell, and most of the people who went viral for something, we know who they are because they went viral. I don't know what you would call this over here viral, but it's viral for us. It's not viral, but it's viral for us. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect for you. Rob needs to stay in jail. It ain't gonna make no difference. When he get out, he's gonna go right back to it. Until he's been touched and delivered, honey. Staying in, you can't keep him in jail for the rest of his life for being drunk, though. That's the issue. Whenever he gets out, they offer meetings and so forth in there, but you got to understand what alcoholism is. It is a disease of the mind. When he gets out, you see what the first thing he went to, not to the family, not to, not to see his kids, nothing like that. He went right back to his first love, which was the bottle. And now apparently YouTube has become his second love. I don't know that they can take people's phones from them, but for his own sake, he want to stay free. He might have to throw his phone in the trash if you can't stay offline. They say he's been around for a while with almost no numbers. So now he's got a little taste of these numbers and he's gotten hooked. We've seen it happen before. Clout chasing. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Tracy with the T. How you doing? You holding up all right? Wilson is at it again, of course. That fool. Desperate. He's desperate, honey. Anything to bring him $1. He threw you up under the bus, Tracy, because that's where he found the most use, getting the most use out of you. I haven't even looked. I got to be in a certain mood to look at his stuff, to hear that voice. That was epic this morning. What was it? The arrest? Honey, that arrest looked like a crime scene. It almost looked like he was there. Hey, they got me. They got me. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry for the graphic, but that's how it looked. Like it could easily happen. They said, get on the ground, and you over here laughing and giggling on YouTube. I think this laughing and giggling is that, people get real drunk. Fuck you, motherfucker. That's how they get, girl. But it could be dangerous. Mm-hmm. Keep bringing up your StreamYard. Eventually, people will get used to seeing you. Keep it posted on your screen banner all the time. Progress. Okay. So, Miss Harvey, you said instead of just coming on live, come through StreamYard. Is there any penalty or any difference if you come through StreamYard? It seems like most people do it. So just have it up there all the time in case someone does want to drop down, or you always have the option of dropping down. Okay, I'll do that. I doubt that I'll be leaving it open, though, for anybody to come on. I think they have an option on there. You can invite people. That's a good idea, Ms. Harvey. I just got to remember it. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're dealing with it, Tracy. I don't know why you like that man, but apparently you do. Something about him. There's something about everybody, really. Somebody finds everybody, Somebody loves you, baby. Oh, somebody loves you, baby. You know who it is. No, he needs to stay somewhere. This man threatened to kill people and to do harm to their children. No sympathy from me. Children are off limits, but barely in this sector, they're fair game. But apparently in this sector, they're fair game. He don't know a child from a possum, child. I'm just telling you, he's a rambling drunk, Sandra. They're able to say anything. Yes, those are, drunk mind speaks to sober heart and all that. But he wouldn't say all that stuff if he wasn't drunk. This is one of the dangers of this social media thing. Y'all see how famous the dude in Whitehead got because he got robbed? He got robbed. Took about 7 minutes. Then we talked about Whitehead for the next 5-6 months, and now he on his way to prison. It's not always a good thing, baby. Maybe it's just me, but you people are nuts. You're a mother. We understand, Sandra. We understand. Tracy got all y'all blocked. Tracy, stop blocking the children. She said, my block game is still strong, baby. Don't play with me. I don't almost, sometimes people tell me, I'm blocked on your channel. I say, well, I'll go to the channel. It says, I haven't blocked anybody except for VS back in the day. I don't know. That's not even on the new channel. But after that stunt years ago, that's the only person I ever blocked. But somehow or other, Wilson is blocked on this computer. So I don't know how that works, but I very rarely do it. Now, they'll give you the option of this person's videos would not be shown or something like that. Just on your right click on here. Now, I've done that when I recognize that you're an enemy. And the only time you come over here is to disagree with me. Yeah, I can right click you. But I don't think that's the same thing as blocking people. You just can't comment, you know. Okay. Y'all talk about blocking. Okay. And the new management told her some self-esteem. Hurting my children or grandchildren. Honey. Sandra's a mama bear, honey. Threaten my kids. Well, they go back and forth. They'll say, don't threaten kids out of it. One will do it and the other one will do it back to them. And this thing can be a mess. Oh, so Tracy, that's why you were crying. You saw the same thing I saw, hoping this thing wasn't going to end up in a tragedy, because it could. It could. It still can. There's a chance that they might not, because I don't even think his probation has even been set up yet, right? Where he actually has a probation officer. They don't do that in the courts. You have to come in later on, and they'll set you up with a parole officer and all that. So there's a chance that they'll let him out again on just continue the probation. But his days are numbered with that. They're only going to do it so much. And it is a ticket to prison. And after you get on prison, he lives in California, just like me. After you get up, you get that number, it could follow you. Mine followed me for 10 years, but I stopped because I got off of dope. But you get out of jail, get out of prison. First time they may give you a couple of years. Maybe do half time on that. But then every time they see you, they can violate you. If you do anything, you spit on the sidewalk, they can violate you if they want to. Right? And you end up just going back to prison every year. Recidivism rate is outrageous. But I mean, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you're better off in jail if your behavior is so self-destructive. Sometimes you're better off in jail. Like many times, I felt like getting busted. They actually saved my ass, because if I had continually been getting high all that time that I was in the streets, I'd probably been dead. I was only stopped because I went to jail, you know. So Sometimes people come out of jail with a new attitude, feeling good from their head to their shoes, know where they're going and they know what to do. They tidied up their point of view. They got a new attitude. We just don't know what's going to be your bottom, though, right? Some people's bottom, and they still living in a home in Beverly Hills. And some people's bottom, they on Skid Row, and they still don't know it. We just don't know what it's going to take for you personally. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't make it out. You know, they destroy their livers. If he's drinking like what we've been seeing for the last few weeks, he ain't long from this world anyway. Sorry, it's the truth. He's in his mid-40s. If he's still drinking like that, and he has been drinking like that, yeah, it's a good time to quit. That brown liquor, that dark liquor. That brown liquor gives you the courage to say out loud what you already thinking. It's like he has ambitions of being a serial killer, iller, herder. He needs deep counseling. Yeah, if deep counseling will help him. He also needs to be away from the temptation. When you get out of jail, the first thing you want to do is get high or drunk or whatever the hell you like to do. So you need to be around people who are trying to stay sober themselves. Give you support. You want to go to the store? Okay, guys, we're going to the store. And all three of you go together. That's how it is. I don't know that they would give me any great counseling when I was in program. I was just away from drugs for a while so I could think clearly. You have support around that because the other people in there are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. But that's got to be a thing where you're serious about it, though. You got to want to be there. This thing that they have in California, sending people there, hoping that you will grasp a hold of something while you're there. It doesn't have the greatest success rate. I'm sure there are stories people have gotten it that way. But the court sentencing you is totally different than you going voluntarily seeking help yourself. Right? Now, for me, I don't even go to AA meetings. Nothing. I trusted God. I turned my faith over to Jesus Christ, and my life has never been the same. But I was ready. I'd had enough. I didn't need to have one more puff of nothing else. And God will deliver. Your faith will deliver you. I believe it. I know it to be true. But before that, can nobody come to this? What the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm grown. You know, that's the standard statement. I'm grown. He should be off. He should be offline though. I think this is going to be detrimental to him. Nobody's going to hear all your threats if you're not online. If you're not talking to thousands of people, 100. I guess it was just a few people before recently, and now maybe people go over there. You have a top story, you know. You run over there. You feel like the whole world watching you. He said he's the sex symbol. I don't know where he got that. Creasy, where did he get this sex symbol talk to, baby? I mean, I'm not trying to criticize your taste or anything, but baby, there is nothing sexy about Rob Rat. Nothing. You know, double chins, that big ass head, Jerry Curl. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just a salt and sugar. If they put him in the movie, I don't think they'd be calling him a sex symbol, honey. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Now she is worried and operating on adrenaline. She will wind down soon and get some rest. Right now, she needs to keep busy, and this helps her. Aries girl, who you talking about? Let me go back a little bit. Aries girl, Octavius and Vic still talking on Rob's live. You got to be kidding me. They still talking on his live while he is locked up wrong. Oh, my God. They over there stealing clout. Lord, they carried on line. Nothing even happened. They're still on the 11-hour live. Could have left and went live on their channel. They're trying to pull all that over to their own channels. Now, I'm not aware of the guy Octavius. I thought he was a friend of of his. I see that the only reason I'm even aware of the name because Miss Wilson can't seem to get it out of her mouth because the boy got cash apps for somebody. Whatever. People who care about their boy need to tell him, even if you get out today, do not get back online. Just forget about it. Act like you never heard of YouTube. Don't even watch movies over here. Just let it go. Let it go and keep your ass out of jail. If you come back on here, you're going to end up back in jail. You're going to want the clout. People are going to be pumping you up. You're going to start talking crazy again because that's the only way you can keep people's interest, by saying things that are shocking. No gratitude. Tracy tried to help him, send him a few dollars and all that. Come out talking the same goddamn way. Tracy, do you feel that Rob Rack has $100,000 of Georgia jewelry wrapped around his neck? You saw it up close. Now, if you were my kind of girl, you would have went and had that shit appraised. Tell me, is this junk or am I crazy? It's all about the jewelry. That's why you need guns to protect the jewelry. You're making $40,000 a year, and yet you go out pay $100,000 for jewelry. Shouldn't you have put that down on a condo or something, child? It's okay. He's 165 pounds. Is it possible that he's sick? Did he lose the weight in workouts, or is it a diet or something? Or is he just suddenly dropped all that weight? There's a possibility that he's sick, and that might explain why he don't give a damn. If he dropped down to 165, he was a big guy, right? I don't know. It's hard to talk about with you in the chat, Tracy. We don't want to be insulting people. We know you still like that thing for whatever reason. I heard that jewelry is fake. I think the chances of that stuff being real are maybe about 3%. The other 97% is just junk. People say, "Oh, it's gold field. It's gold field." It's not real jewelry, honey. They don't put diamonds in gold field jewelry, right? And what would you need diamonds for? Are you going on stage? So that's going to be the excuse. That's what everybody's trying to steal. That's why he needs artillery and all this shit, child, for the jewelry. Hopefully not cirrhosis. I don't know. There's a couple people over here I'm concerned about this massive weight loss. Real fake. That's right. TLC and 3. $100,000. How you know it's worth $100,000, nigga? Is that the retail price? All that shit glitters when you first buy it, child. Wear it for a month. They be calling you Mr. Green Neck. Hey, here comes Mr. Green Neck. Hi, Mr. Green Neck. So you go buy another one. Tell another lie. Oh, so you got rid of that 100,000? Well, you got another 100,000 worth? I can't repeat that, Lexi. She's in here. TLC and 3. $100,000 worth of jewelry, but nowhere to lay your head. You paying for hotel rooms. You're in the Motel 6. Where to do that at? I do not know, honey. He put, oh, you put, okay, is that a clue? You put clear fingernail polish on it for it to last for 3 months. Oh, so you're supposed to coat your fake stuff. Oh, okay. He may have internal health issues. He needs to prioritize. But even if you are sick, that don't mean you got to die. I mean, most things can be treated. Some people run, they get scared and they run into the bottle. See that brother over there running scared. Sure got a problem, and it's a bad one. Preacher man tried to help him out. She done cussed him out and hit him in the head with the Bible. Yeah, they can be violent too. So it's a dangerous, volatile situation. Ooh, beautiful alien. You must watch him. Nobody. Why is nobody talking about Rob lip with the herbies on it? Ooh, I ain't never looked at his mouth. See, they call me all kind of snow queens and all that. I was to look at like everything you see on there because they're black, But I have never looked at that person and thought that was. I mean, there's nothing even remotely kind of attractive about him. But I don't understand everything. I don't understand. You can't understand other people's attraction. I'm sure that a lot of you would find people that I'm attracted to grotesque. It's just the way it is. But I don't know what this is. Supposed to be a comedy routine. He expressed that he wanted to be a great comedian. So is him saying he's a sex symbol? Is that part of his comedy? It would have to be because he's very laughable. His liver needs to be flushed out. Mm-hmm. Fake herringbone chain. So y'all seen the jewelry? You can't see that. The whole point is to duplicate what the real stuff looks like. It's just that the metals are not real. And the jewels are certainly not real. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, Richard. Why you do that? You have a traumatic brain injury and still drink? Stop it. Stop all that drinking. But now drinking is different. Most people drink, or a lot of people drink. That don't mean you got to drink all of it, honey. When you're drinking just to get drunk, you're drinking the whole bottle and all that kind of stuff. This man was on his way to get him another bottle. He's already barely on his feet. Another one. Mm-hmm. He needs to go somewhere, sit down, and hush. Don't say nothing. My mama used to tell me, Tim, stop talking. Why you supposed to just sit here? Yes, girl. Don't say shit. Don't talk. Go and check yourself into a recovery program. Y'all know the renting situation here. It's not like he can just hop out and get an apartment, particularly when he don't even have a job now. So the best thing for him to do was if he signs up for, say, Judge, I'd like to ask a request that I could go into a recovery drug program. I'm an alcoholic and I need help. And then they have laws here now where they will put you in a recovery program that would take care of all of your problems temporarily. You come out of jail, they will put you on GA, which is government assistance for the city, but all the money will go to your program. So you won't even have to pay for your program. You just sit there, right? And then you won't have the cops on your back. You could take care of your business, like looking for a job. Some of them are 90 days, some of them are 6 months, some of them are a whole year, depending on your situation. But be there, you get a clear head, get all your IDs and all the things you need to get together, including some sort of income. So you have a chance. Program would solve a lot of his problems. He wouldn't have to get out and using his Cash App money to get motel rooms. Mm-hmm. It will give him the help he needs. His besties could crowd around and give him horrible advice for entertainment. Oh yeah, they don't give a damn about their boys. Some of them are drunks their own damn self. We don't see what these people are like off the line, child. They might be hitting the pipe when they got off line. We don't know. Yep, Aries girl. First, you gotta want it for yourself, honey. People have walked away from their families, their children, for drugs and alcohol. What the hell you gonna say to them is gonna make any difference? Turn their back on their mamas. Mamas throw them out. Daddy throw them out. Sisters don't want nothing to do with them. That don't stop them. Mm-mm. And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm not doing that no more. I've had enough. This world has kicked my ass enough. Now I like to look to the power greater than myself to restore me to sanity. Yeah, stay strong, Tracy. You kiss the frog. You can kiss honey. Before you find the right one, you might have to kiss a few frogs. You ain't gonna find out they're frogs until you kiss them. Then you say, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?" You know. But there are good people out there, good men out there. You know, a lot of them are taken, they've married and all that, but not everybody. People have had divorces and things. But y'all can expect to be hearing about this now for the next few days. I guess they're gonna know what the bail is, and you gotta wait for another court date and all that. It's just a distraction from what ordinarily goes on over here. So we'll check back in if it's necessary. Y'all have a wonderful, what is today? Thursday. Oh my God, we're almost there. So thank God it's Friday. Y'all have a wonderful Thursday, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for coming in.